Hey guys! Now I've noticed that my old how to play Mage Rage video is getting a little bit out of date now, so I'm going to do a casual but concise tutorial on how to play Mage Rage. Right, so first thing you should know, the aim of the game. It's a weekly scavenger hunt, essentially, where you have to collect 9 items. You can play it in multiplayer or in single player. And you get magic spells. And yeah, you get to go magicking crazy around the world and dealing with a slightly magical world too. Now this is the starting box. Not much to do in here, but you get to set up your game within the book. So let's go and take a look at that, shall we? You can click Archmage Edcase to visit the channel, and there you can see any of the new announcement videos and things. Click here to join the Discord, and you can turn the dragons on or off. Yes, there are dragons that I made from scratch. Also worth noting that in Mage Rage, everything is done with functions. There are no mods required. So yes, essentially vanilla, but not really because there are lots of functions. Anyway, if you think that you're going to experience lag, then you can turn the dragons off. This just explains how to play, so once you've started, throw a crystal ball on the ground to see which items you have to collect. We'll go over that shortly. Hold all 9 items in your inventory at the same time to complete the challenge. Click here for a how to play video. That will be this, as long as I remember to change this link to this video now. If you're playing solo or free-for-all, don't select a team. However, if you are playing cooperatively or in a team PvP situation in multiplayer, then select your teams. Click here to turn on recording reminders. What this does is basically every time you log into this world, it'll do a thing and it'll say, hey, remember to start recording, just so you don't forget. I think all YouTubers have had the thing at some point of forgetting to hit the record button and losing some footage. So yes, that's to help with that. Yes, you can support us on, or me, on Patreon by clicking here. That'll take you to our Patreon page. And if you are a Patreon supporter, and there are 3 tiers of support, then you can click here to unlock your Patreon rewards, which are purely cosmetic, but they're nice to have, and I'll show you how that works right now. So in the chat, you can click here to go to the Patreon posts page, where you'll find the passwords, and that's for Mage Rage and for Are You Hardcore, the 2 challenges we've got going at the moment. And what you'll see there are the passwords, which will look like gibberish, but on either end will be exclamation marks. Now what you have to do is copy that entire thing, including the exclamation marks, but not any spaces that are at the beginning, just from exclamation mark to exclamation mark. And then you paste it in the book. And it'll just look like 2 exclamation marks and nothing in between. But that's how it's meant to look. It's just to hide the password from other people. And then you click done. Not sign, but done. And there you go. So now what we've got is an extra book. You can open that up, and if you are a tier 1 subscriber, you have access to these ones. You can go on to the next page. If you're a tier 2, you also have access to these ones, and tier 3 also has access to these ones. So I'm going to select horns, why not? And if you go into your inventory, there is a Minecraft bug, and it'll look like nothing has changed. But if you come out, move around, and then go back in again, and then click, it will change. It's a stupid Minecraft bug, but that's how you fix it. To anyone else, it'll appear as normal. It'll appear like you have horns. But it's just for you that the bug occurs. So there you go. And also, you can change your wand. So it just says, hold sneak and use scroll wheel to customize wand. So here we go. I'm going to slowly scroll, and you can see my wand is changing. And you can get to select which wand you want for this week. And yeah, there are different tiers, which I'm scrolling through right now, but because I've entered my tier 3 password, it's not going to object. And it goes all the way to the final one, which is this one, the steampunk wand. So there you go. I'm going to have a steampunk wand, and I've got magic horns. They're magic, apparently. All right, so after you've got that selected and customized, you can click your 5 spells. So you click here and you get a book. Open that up, and here you have your spells to choose from. Now you can hover over them, and it'll give you a brief little insight into what each of these spells do. However, at the end of this video, I'm going to link to a playlist of tutorials for each individual spell. Some of them are slightly out of date as well, but for the most part, it'll show you how they work and give you a good overview of the spell individually and the combinations between the spells, because yes, you can combo. So I'm going to select my spells, and as soon as you have selected your spells, it will start the game. And fire. There you go. And I have arrived. So now the first thing you have to do is throw your crystal ball on the ground, and I'll show you what you have to do, what you have to collect this month. However, I'm just going to go over a couple of little things. Firstly, don't worry about dying. Don't worry about those hearts. Those will be explained. Dying is fine. Keep inventory is on, so all it will do is bring you back to spawn. So in fact, it is actually a useful tool. If you are far from spawn, you can deliberately go and die, and you'll appear back at spawn. No sleeping. Mages don't sleep. That is one of the rules. And the other thing is just no cheating. Say, using an X-ray mod or previewing the world before you have a go at it. Basically, this is a one-shot thing. You have one go at it, and that is your official run. You can have another go at it, but it won't be official anymore. Right. Okay, so throwing the crystal ball on the ground. Boop. There it goes, and it shows you all the items you need for this week. A relatively new addition is the middle item now has a number next to it. So it says 10 times that thing, which is a repeater. So you have to have 10 of those in your inventory, no more, no less, to finish the challenge, along with one of each of these other things. You can have multiples of the other things, but you have to have that specific number of the repeaters. Yes, as you hover over them, it tells you what each of the things are. So yeah, you can see that's a TNT, that is a golden chest plate. And yeah, there you go. Also, if I give myself I should give me a golden chest plate, boop, you'll see it starts flashing. It starts emitting particles to show you that you've got that now. Okay, let's go on to some advanced techniques with the crystal ball. Now, these are things that you don't need to know, so don't worry about it too much if this is information overload. However, this is a handy little trick that you can do. Now, anytime you are not selected on your wand or your crystal ball, then it will show you at the bottom of the screen your coordinates. This is Batty's Coords Pack, which is very useful to show you where you are. But say I am at 500, let's just make it easy, 500, 100. Say this is exactly where I spawned. This is the spawn point. What I could do is right-click with the crystal ball in my hand, and it puts this up. So that number was 500, 100, was it not? Let's check. 500, 100. Okay, so click. Now you right-click, 5, 0, 0, done. And now you can go 1, 0, 0, and then done. If you get anything wrong, then you can clear that one that you were on. So I'll type in 100 again. And there's also a minus, so if it was minus 100, I could click minus and then 100 for that. All right, and now that that's done, it shows me exactly where that spot is. So it's pointing me in that direction because now it's to my left, so I'd move towards it, and now it's in front of me by 11 blocks, which is really quite useful. So that's useful for showing me where something is, you know, if I need to remember that there is something over there. Or if I put it at spawn, it shows me exactly how far away from spawn I am, which is very useful because as I make these maps myself and I make sure that everything that you need in the crystal ball is available to you within roughly 500 blocks, then if you're holding this in your hand, it can show you exactly how far away from spawn you are. Now let's get on to what we all really want to know, and that is how to use your wand. So first off, to select your spell, you've got your wand in your hand and you hold sneak. Now you can move from left to right to choose each of these spells. So I've got pain, ice, blink, water, and fire. So sure, I'll choose fire. So letting go of sneak, and now fire is in my wand. To cast the spell, you right click, boop. And there you go, I've got a fire spell. So casting spells is right click. You can also cast a spell on yourself. So fire, which casts a wall of fire like that, you can also aim downwards with about a 10-degree margin to hit yourself. And yes, it will hit yourself. And this will do something different for fire. This allows me to fire run, and it boosts me through the air and allows me to land safely. So that's a traveling spell if you cast it on yourself. Anyway, you can also see the cooldown. So if I just cast that in the distance, you can see the cooldown counting down until I can cast it again, because I can't cast it in this time, and now I can cast it again. So there you go, each spell has a cooldown. There is also a shield spell that you have. You don't have to choose it at the beginning, you just always have access to a shield spell. You can cast the shield spell by moving your wand to your offhand. So there is a change hands, a swap hands key, and if you press that, poof, it instantly swaps the wand back into your main hand again, and it casts the shield spell. Now the shield spell is up for 1 second, and then it is down for 2 seconds. So, you know, it is up for 1, and then there is a further 2 seconds cooldown. Now, it can push mobs away. You can't really see that very well, but I just pushed those hearts away from me. This is actually a pig. But its kind of main use is to block projectiles and spells. And if you do that, then it has a shorter cooldown. So if I just summon a skeleton, this is going to shoot at me. If I block, there you go, I blocked the arrow. And I can block again. Oh, I got shot from behind. I blocked that one in front of me, and I got shot by another one behind me. But you see that it gives me an opportunity to block that spell. And I can then fire back with a pain spell. So, you know, you can see how a shield spell could be useful, especially battling something like a skeleton. Now, a couple of extra things you need to know. If you lose your wand, if you accidentally throw it into lava or something, then a few seconds later you'll automatically be given a new wand. And if you leave your crystal ball behind, then the next time you cast a spell, let's cast an ice spell, boop, I now have a new crystal ball on me. So that's how you get a new crystal ball. All right, a couple of advanced little things about the wand and how to use it. You don't need to know these things, but they're little extras. If you hold down sneak, so you've got that up your UI available, and you look downwards and select something, so I'm going to select the water spell, and if you right click, so I've just right clicked, I now have locked that spell into my wand. What this means is that if I hold down shift again, or sneak, I'm no longer bringing up the UI, so I can't accidentally change away from the water spell. This is useful because if you have the water spell in your wand, it allows you to move fast in water. And now I can use the sneak I can use sneak to go lower in water without accidentally changing away from the water spell. So you see how that might be useful. To unlock your wand, all you have to do is scroll away from your wand and then back to it again. I'm pretty sure that also if you use your shield spell, then it unlocks your wand. Yeah, it does. The other thing you can do is prime a spell. And what this means is that if I prime an ice spell, and that's just by right-clicking on it without facing downwards, I can then select a water spell, and I have both in my wand. First, if I right-click, I will cast a water spell, and then it will automatically change to an ice spell. This is useful because there is a combo that you can do between the water and ice spells. So if I come up to a mob over here, I can now right-click twice, and firstly it will encase this pig in water, and then I'll hit it with the ice spell, which will lock it into a ice cube, which is a special little combo you can do. So yeah, you can prepare by priming little combos and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. All right, that is how to use your wand. Remember that at the end of the episode, there will be links to the playlist of how to use each spell. So that'll be, sorry, Piggy. That'll be useful at the end too. So remember to do that. Extra things. Okay, so this is a magical world, as I mentioned before. Now you've seen there are dragons about. So, yes, created from scratch, there are dragons. They fly around. They have a mind of their own. This little guy is going to fly around wherever he wants to, and at some point he might choose to come down. At some point he might choose to sleep. Yep, dragons sleep as well. And whilst they're in the air, they might even breathe fire. So they're pretty cool. Also, a fairly new addition. It is raining again. You can ride it. So this is a little finicky. The best way to do it is to kind of get up behind it at an angle and close, and then click it there. Keep persisting at clicking and you'll get on it. Now, it'll fly in whichever direction you are pointing. So if you're pointing downwards, it's not going to go anywhere. But if I point into the air, I am now flying on the back of a dragon. And there you go, with my horns. And you can fly around as much as you like. And if you hit sneak to jump off the back of the dragon, you'll see that I was protected from fall damage, just for that one fall because I jumped off the back of a dragon. But the dragon will continue to fly on. So yeah, those are dragons, and there it goes, breathing fire. Very cool. Each month there is a special thing, and this month, as it said at the very beginning, this month, all mobs have been infected with the love transparency. And that means that all mobs are invisible, but they emit hearts. Just for this month only. I'm going to quickly turn that off just to demonstrate the thing about the witches. Alright, there we go. You can see that we actually had a load of pigs walking around here. So if I summon a witch, boop, just seems like a normal witch, but if I move far enough away, what's going to happen is it teleports into the sky, and it is now, riding a phantom. So if I just quickly change back into survival mode for a moment, that phantom is definitely going to see me, as is the witch. It's going to come charging down at me. There we go. And as soon as it gets close, it drops the witch. And now the witch is going to come at me and start throwing things at me. So yes, that's quite a rare thing. But yes, witches can fly. And the final thing are ancient mages. So if I spawn an Enderman, instead I'll get one of these guys, the skeleton mage guy. Now, when he fires arrows, he will actually he will fire a spell with those arrows. So if I quickly change myself into survival mode so he gets angry with me, he has fired a pain spell and a levitation spell. He also has slowness and fire, which he can fire. And if I am to damage him, boop, he will disappear for a moment before coming back with a bang. He has a fair bit of health, but if you manage to kill this guy, then you'll get a gold ingot out of him. Oh, sorry, sheepies. And there is another type that is wearing a collar and is holding a staff, and he will drop 2 gold ingots, but he's a little harder to kill. So yes, you will just see those randomly in the world, as commonly as you would usually in a normal Minecraft game see an Enderman. However, in Mage Rage, Endermen are actually more common, because any time that one of these guys spawn, he will send the Enderman that he spawned off of onto the surface somewhere. So you'll likely see a lot of Endermen even during the day. So yes, that is an extra thing about Mage Rage. Lots of Endermen and ancient mages. All right. That is about it. The last thing to say is that once you have finished, so if I grab all these blocks, all right, so I've grabbed everything except the cobweb. So if I just give myself some cobweb, there we go. I have finished. I've been changed into spectator mode, and it says, congratulations, you've completed the Mage Rage challenge. Your time is 24 minutes and 45 seconds. So there is a timer right at the very end to tell you how well you've done, how quickly you managed to complete the challenge. That timer, in the original version, if you hit ESC, the timer would still be going. But that's been changed now and fixed, so if you pause the game, then you pause the timer as well. All right, and that is everything. So make sure you go and check out any of the spell tutorial videos if you want to see how any of those work. But that is everything. So get in there and cast your magic spells, have fun, and yeah, join the Discord and let us know how things have been going. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.